Hi, fourth grade, and today we're going to just go back over lesson 38 and spend a little more time with this transition to the standard algorithm from our partial products and place value charts, other ways of doing division. So let's jump into an example problem, and we're going to work through this problem here, which is 42 times 22. And just relate that to our area model. Okay, so when we set up the problem, we look at 42 as a whole, but we know we're going to be breaking the 22 up and considering 2 times 42, and then in the second line of the problem, 20 times 42. So when we look at our standard algorithm, we start with the 2 in the ones place here, and we're going to multiply 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we multiply 2, and that's 2 ones times 4 tens in the top there. So 2 times 4 is 8, and we think of our area model here, and we know that 42 times 2 is indeed 84 units. So the area of that upper rectangle, 2 times 42 is 84. Then we're going to look at the lower rectangle, and that is representing 42 times 2 tens, or 20. So I'm going to look here at the 2 in the tens place, and I'm going to multiply 2 tens times 2. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a placeholder. 2 times 2 is 4, and then 2 tens times 4 tens is going to be 8 hundreds, so I'm going to put my 8 in the hundreds place here. And we look over, we think about 42 times 20 is 840. So then we're going to add the two portions of our area model. It's 4 in the ones place, 8 and 4 is 12, we carry our 1. So the total area, or the product of 42 times 22 is 924. And we see how the area of the rectangles compares when we break it down by place value. Let's look at another problem. All right, in this problem we have 62 times 29, and the same thing, we're going to look at 62 times 29 in the, or 62 times 9 in the upper rectangle, and then 62 times 20 in the lower rectangle. So we start again with our lower factor in the ones place, the 9. 9 times 2 is 18. We carry that 1 that's in the tens place in the 18. 9 times 6 is 54, and we add 1 to get 55. So 62 times 9 is 558. Now we move to the tens place, the 2 there, and we're going to multiply 2 tens, or 20, times 62. Again, I'm going to put in my placeholder to make sure I remember that I'm multiplying by 2 tens. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 6 is 12. And I'm going to add my two sections here, but again, I'm looking over at my rectangle here, and 62 times 20 is 1,240. Again, the connection between this part of the rectangle and the larger part of the rectangle, and I'm able to see that by adding up the two amounts, I should get the total of the entire figure. And when I add this up, I start at the right and add my columns one by one, and the total units for the area of that rectangle, 1,798. All right, one more. I'm going to turn the page, and we're going to set this problem up as 63 multiplied by 46. And I'd like you to go ahead and try to work this problem out first using the area model and the standard algorithm. Okay, hopefully you paused it there and tried this on your own. I'm going to go ahead and go through 46 times 63, and again I will start with the ones digit for the lower factor, and 6 times 3 is 18. Carry my 1. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1, 37. 378 is the area of my first rectangle there, and I see that connection there. Now I move to the lower rectangle, which is represented by the 4 here in the tens place, 4 tens, or 40 times 63. I'm going to put my placeholder in, and then multiply 4 times 3 is 12, and carry the 1. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1, 25. And I'm going to add the area of my two rectangles together to give me the total area of the figure. So I bring down my 8 plus 0 is 8, 7 and 2 is 9, 5 plus 3, 8, and bring down my 2. 2,898 is the total for my multiplication problem, or the number of units in the area model represented by 46 times 63. All right, I hope this was helpful, and we will practice this again tomorrow in class. Have a good night.